All right, so today we're diving into some pretty intense stuff happening over in South Korea. You send over some articles, and well, things are not looking too stable over there. We're talking a, a potential impeachment, plummeting approval ratings for the president, and a martial law declaration that seemingly came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's definitely been
Yeah.
a dramatic turn of events, especially considering this martial law declaration happened just yesterday, December 3rd. This kind of move hasn't been seen in South Korea for decades, so it's understandable that it's making headlines everywhere.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And, to make things even more interesting, this isn't South Korea's first impeachment rodeo. Remember back in 2017 when President Park Geun-hye was removed from office?
Yeah.
Because of that huge corruption scandal.
Right.
This giving me some serious deja vu.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation worth paying close attention to,
Yeah.
especially given the parallels to the past. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, maybe we should take a step back and make sure we're both on the same page about some of the key details.
Yeah, you're right. Context is key. So for those who might not be totally familiar with South Korean politics, impeachment basically means that a high-ranking official, in this case the president, is accused of doing something seriously wrong and could be removed from office.
Right, and it's important to remember that. It's the National Assembly that can actually accuse the president. But they don't actually decide if he's guilty or innocent. It's more like they're bringing the charges. And then the Constitutional Court acts as the judge and jury. They decide if the president has actually violated the Constitution. And it takes a supermajority, 6 out of 9 judges, to actually remove the president from office.
So it's not a done deal just because there are accusations flying around. There's still a whole legal process that needs to play out. Okay, so we know what impeachment is. But how did we even get to this point with President Yoon Yeol? I mean, he just came into office in 2022. What happened?
Well, his journey to the presidency is actually pretty interesting. He started as a prosecutor general, and he was known for his really tough stance on corruption. That image really resonated with voters, and he rode that wave of popularity all the way to the Blue House, representing the right-wing People Power Party.
Okay, but then things started going downhill fast, right? Like his approval ratings tanked. I mean, they're somewhere between 17 and 20%. And you mentioned in your notes that you were interested in how Yoon's policies might have contributed to this decline. Was it just a general dissatisfaction, or were there like specific things that really turned people against him?
Yeah, there were definitely some specific policies that alienated certain groups. Remember how we were following the rise of Lee Jae-young, the opposition
Like,
leader?
he's the one who narrowly lost to Yoon in the 2022 election. His story is pretty fascinating. He went from working in a sweatshop to becoming a labor lawyer and even survived an assassination attempt. So how does he fit into all of this?
Well, Lee and his Democratic Party.